Battle stations. Battle stations. Man is spotted, bearing 335, hot.
Hello valued viewers and welcome. This is a slightly late, but better late than never, year in review video from Grim Reaper's Naval Ops, and the 6 of us this time instead of 4 last year. 6 of us are in the Carrier Cinema theatre, I guess our American crewmates would call it, and we are looking back at some of the best, most memorable events of the last year, and we've all each brought a clip of about 5-10 minutes long, and we're going to watch it together and talk about it. So, Kazzik, I think you wanted to present the first clip.
Yeah, I've got a clip, ironically, with Pup Boy's not technically on the crew yet, but he's played with us a few times at this point, and he's on the crew. Bobcat wasn't there that day, so I was in captain's seat.
Oh, I got diamond. Oh, that was the...
Okay, so this clip...
Don't forget to...
I see a flashing light. It could be a carrier there.
Don't forget to arm your bombs.
This clip was Tricky's event where we ended up in a really strong starting position, and we looked at the map and we're like, okay, if we don't play stupid, we're gonna win this because we had everything we needed. But then we come across the last carrier, and we have this nice attack here, and we're coming in, and somebody, not naming names, misses, and then we spend like the next 20 or 25 minutes chasing this thing down to kill it because we just couldn't, and it's a collage of basically things going wrong one thing at a time.
I think I remember this one. Was this the one I went charging after them with the petrol?
Yeah, after you insisted upon taking one of their islands, like, we're trying to end the game. It was literally the last team left. We'd eliminated the other team.
That's embarrassing.
And yeah, we're
My apologies.
we're going to end up doing like several different things to mess this up.
Now, I seem to remember this for some reason. I seem to remember this, Kazzik, and I think it's in the very first game we played together as a crew. We decided that we would use heavy bombs as an attack vector, and I think we ended the first game in almost record time, and I was the operator that put my bombs wide on this instance.
Actually, I think yours didn't even drop the first time.
Pup Boy 030. That's right. I got shot down, didn't I?
But then, well, yeah, I think you had a misclick, like you were off the controller when you press the button, and you, of course, you overshoot and then get shot down afterward. But like, if you see in that clip, Thumble launches as I'm looking at it, and it's got guns and 2 IR missiles. Like, that might not be enough, especially if they're repairing by the time you get there. So we start stream launching kind of everything we have, which isn't much because we had enough to kill him, and we didn't have a great economy at that point.
He's about 15%. Missile.
It's right on top of you, Kazzik.
Yeah, it's bright as hell.
He's gone past us.
Yeah, and this missile, like, I think did 3 donuts around me before it ended up blowing up.
That aircraft. All right, got
Boy,
2
045.
TV missiles. Jump in here and...
Oh, good shot.
Damn it, that missile's back.
It was easy. It was, running away. But, like, that one misses, and then it turns around, and it gets me because it's like, I don't know it's behind me again until I see the flashing.
Get in these TV missiles.
Yeah, we've got sort of behind enemy lines missiles, haven't we?
I'm in one.
With the IR missiles for a while.
Just stay within 5 feet.
And ironically, I think you can see the carrier, the blinking light, dead ahead at this point.
Yeah, I'll
Yes.
grab another one.
Because I'm telling people to get in. There's the Rex right there. And get in the TV missiles so we can kill this thing. And the missile catches me. And that's another
020.
miss.
Was that TV?
Roland,
Yeah, it was TV. You were in it.
0.
Oh, you mean that killed it? I think it was
Yeah.
IR
On you.
from the service that they're shooting at us.
Where's the
Yeah.
missile?
There's
No,
my
you're clear,
petrol.
you're clear. Right, carry it.
Alright,
Yeah, I'm gonna skip ahead just a little bit here, save some time.
So
But
this
yeah,
is
so
before, this is
Fumble drops off his virus bot to take that thing, and he's so proud of himself because he captures another airframe island.
Yeah.
And not use them.
And my plane has mysteriously
there's
disappeared.
Alpha 8, Kazzik. Permission to actually use it this time.
Somebody's launched them already.
yeah, they're going. They're going.
So the 2 surviving mantas that came back
Tumble.
have gotten rearmed, and now they're being launched again. This is how long this has been taking to fly up and finish this guy off.
Return the chipmunk.
And this is before the update to Carrier Command, where you've got better airborne warning of missiles. You got
Yes.
more.
Missile.
So this is really, you have to see it to know it's coming for you.
I
The
see it
incoming
coming.
missile.
That's why I'm doing the old tumble.
Tumble.
Yep, you did one successfully.
040.
Trouble is, they kept firing missiles at me.
5k.
Does seem to put a damper on
He
things.
doesn't shoot at me again because I can't do that again.
I
050
suggest
intercept.
using the cannons while you approach. Missile. Missile.
Fire everything.
Yeah, that thing I said they shouldn't
Under.
do again.
Another one.
Under 800 meters, and you started.
600, 500, 400, 300, 200, 100.
Drink.
He
But my missiles are
almost.
running.
Oh, that was so
So
close.
close.
Yeah, this is
It
not
just
going to
kills
kill
them.
him.
If you had 4 missiles, that would have been the end.
Nope. If you would have hit it with the gun first, you might have killed it.
I wasn't in gun range. I was outside 2,000.
Gun range?
What?
2,500, but fair.
Yeah, and Sage, because we eliminated him first, was in our channel, just randomly talking.
Petrol.
Oh, as Sage does.
Yeah,
Giving his sage advice.
not this time.
So this is what happens when there's one missed bomb run.
I mean, just imagine if that team was a little bit more experienced and had a strike coming at us, and they didn't miss their bomb run. We'd have lost.
Needle.
I don't know where
Yeah. So, Pop, this is, I think, what you were talking about. You're in that between Bacchus and Lingard, and yeah, you do not make that
You got a vector
gap.
for me, Brett.
Yeah,
045.
045. 045 again.
045. Oh,
Right,
yeah,
boy,
those
you've got another swordfish missile on you, pup boy. Oh. Oops. Get another one.
We don't have another one.
we don't have another one, oh dear.
Oh, 5 missile slots.
Yeah, this is the
Yeah,
whole,
this
isn't
is this is a while ago. This was I want to say March or so of last year.
We're down to the light bombs.
Well, they were enough. That's more than enough to sink the thing at this point.
You get to the point where you need to finish the job and you just throw the kitchen sink at them.
That one, that's it.
Carrier's firing everything as well.
But yeah, Roland, who didn't put his bombs on target the first time,
Kill this thing.
does manage to get his bombs away right before.
Did you
Yay.
do the bomb?
I thought that
Yeah.
I thought that it wasn't enough, but they're all like GG, and I'm like, oh,
Good game.
thank goodness.
Yeah, I think I cost everybody about 45 minutes with that.
It was like 25 or 30, but still.
Saved us having to send another
Embarrassing.
petrol.
I'm very sorry, gentlemen.
During the debrief, they said we got him down to 4% twice.
Yeah,
See,
that's a great idea. Let's just cut the last 45 minutes out. Yeah, and it looks great.
Yeah, if Roland just does that on the first strike.
And you haven't changed a bit.
Yeah, I know.
Wait, what? Hostile
Snagged
air.
aircraft.
It's burned into my memory that it was 45 minutes because it was so embarrassing. It was It had an embarrassment
felt-
factor of over
It felt
2.
like a factor 2.
Now that it's been exposed, you can't just splice the footage together.
40.
No, for all to see now.
5k.
Hope he doesn't shoot at me
But it was still good times, and it was just one of those. Again, like Bob was saying, everything in the kitchen sink, and like something happened on the way for half of them, and then the ocean-shaped missile took out the petrol and all that jazz.
To be fair, the 4 missiles took out the petrol sort of indirectly.
And if you'd had 4 missiles on the petrol, that would have ended anyway.
Yeah, but Daka.
Or rockets.
Well, from that range, I doubt he could even hit the carrier.
It was a bit of a Hail Mary to send off those 2 IRs at that range, to be honest.
You did hit with them both.
Oh!
Anyway, that's what I had for the year of 2024. Good times.
Wait, what? I thought we were talking about 2023. What year is it?
It's the future, Brad. It's now 2025.
Oh dear. Welcome to the future. Next year,
Have
telling
you-
me it's Monday.
Have you met Pupboy yet?
No?
If you're still in 2023, I think you might have met him towards the end, maybe.
You just took high tech.
Yes. Anyway, moving on. Who's going next? We could do Bread and his really, really long range long bomb.
Yeah, right.
So this, Bread, why don't you introduce us to why this is your chosen clip?
Ah, yes. Okay. So we've done loads of
Visual.
experimental things this last year, and this the little yellow versus purple
I'll
series
ask for it if
was
I need
really fun for me. And this is my standout moment of this one, where we're all fighting over the same island. There's a bit of ground combat. There's some air-to-air stuff. There's naval gunnery, and
killed 2.
loads of new faces too.
Yeah, I think we should probably go back to Yellow versus Purple. I got a bit demoralised when they kept crashing, but I liked the format when it worked.
Missile.
Barnes, missile on you. Flare.
So this is Bob on the other team. I think he was purple, or I was on either yellow or purple, and Bob was either on purple
You
or
were on
yellow.
purple, I think, and Bob was on yellow.
Ah,
Hey, it's a
and-
yellow
and
carrier we just saw.
We're fighting over this air island. There's
I've just-
both
I've
teams
just
have
launched
got
a cruise missile,
ground
just
forces
keep
on the
busy.
island, and we're exchanging missiles and stuff. And our carrier has just got in to gun range of Bob's carrier, but he doesn't have an aircraft up that can see us. And it's at this point where I realise, hang on,
Okay, drop
we can
those
see
bombs
him,
now,
but he can't see us.
and then get that thing out of there. In fact, I would say bring one of the walruses home, and put the heavy cannon on it.
So I think this is the bit. Yes, this is the bit where you come into range.
Yeah, and I think Bob you'd set us a bit of a trap here, hadn't you? Because in the middle of this, we start getting
We're going to get in gun range if we're not
hit
careful,
by-
but I don't think they've got a spotter up.
we start getting hit by Bob's bears.
Okay, if we might be able to get us lucky gunshot off if you let me know.
I think we've
Yes,
just missed
I
that bit
was
actually. That happened just before this.
Right now.
That was at the beginning of the clip, yeah.
Ah.
That was my gambit that you had spotted.
I only spotted that by pure chance. That was
Keep it inactive. Let me know the moment we're at 5 kilometers and cut the engines to the ship, and I'll fire.
I was expecting you to move any second, or start firing at us.
Nope. Keep it off. We need speed.
You're firing a cruise missile there.
Range to target.
Range is 6.1.
Yeah, the cruise missiles were more out of hope to just saturate operator time rather than thinking it would actually hit.
So the thing I find astonishing about this clip is how long it takes for the shells to get where they're
The
going.
moment we get to 4.9, let me know.
This is the maximum range naval gunfire.
5.2. Prepare to halt the carrier, but don't halt it yet.
Oh,
They are
turning.
they're pivoting,
Switch the
they're
guns on.
pivoting.
Switch the guns on.
Guns on. Guns on. keep going forward, keep going forward. Hold the carrier, hold the carrier.
Range to target.
Carrier stopped.
4.82.
Firing.
Fire.
Okay, so ready to start the clock.
They are stationary, they are stationary.
Rounds
Nope,
out.
They're moving. Nope, they're stationary.
So I'm thinking, oh, he's about to disappear off the right of the screen.
Okay,
Yeah, it
magazine
looks like
empty.
it, doesn't it?
I would. How's the virus capture going?
Burn, 90%. Helm, come left. 360.
Oh, it's that cruise missile I sent out earlier.
Yeah, so that's what, 12, 13
Oh, the whole
seconds?
salvo missed. Hang on. Shots on the deck.
Oh,
Shots on the
they're
deck.
at, yes, yes, yes.
Hopefully this last
Oh,
lot.
They're 10. They're 10%.
That is more than 10%. Just
We've got
so,
a
so
missile.
people watching know that
Missile turrets now.
people grossly
I'm going for
overestimate
missile,
how much
have
damage they've done
Yes. Fire cruise missile.
to a carrier all the time. I see it all
Doesn't
the
look like
time.
the systems are damaged, but
Again, you'll fire another cruise missile.
Absolutely, the 116 cruise missiles are
what's
damaged.
our carrier range?
So it wasn't a kill, but that was
Is
a
and expanding.
point of no return,
Oh.
I would say.
Going for a shot.
Yes,
Stop the engines.
definitely the point of no return.
Shot, crash stop, crash stop.
Negative. They're out of range. I won't get them.
Okay.
Okay, I prioritise bringing our ground units home really fast. Do we have the island?
You've got IR missiles coming out from the island now,
Build
so...
aircraft now.
I think we can skip forward. I
If
think,
the
Brad, you
barges
got the
here
kill
get the
shots
aircraft,
as
yeah.
well. It might have even been with this aircraft.
Yeah, I think it was.
Enemy missile out on you, Brett, from the west. Looks like an IR missile.
Because even at this point, it did feel like quite a close game because we didn't have a lot of money and we were down to like 3 units, 3 ground units and just this aircraft. So I didn't think we'd last much longer.
Actually, no, the missile's catching up to you very slightly out.
Well, it's a repeat of the classic scenario. Really good dodge here. Repeat of the classic scenario that 2 default loadouts going for 1 airframe island.
Dodge 2, I had no idea. I had no idea how I dodged those.
Unlaunch. See what's out. Yes!
Ah, right at the water line too.
Very nice.
Yeah.
I did not bank on that working.
That was a really good shot there.
It's good fun to do that though.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, I got
So it's always really rewarding to get the kill shot.
Ah, but how does it feel to get shot and destroyed by AA missiles on multiple occasions last year?
There is no other carriers. We just won.
It happens.
We have just won.
It just highlights the
what we were doing.
huge amount of situational awareness
There is a
required when
1v1.
you've got carriers operating
Wow.
that closely. I think if I remember correctly, I had along with the bears, I think I had also tried to get a observation camera seal onto the island to try and get a firing solution kind of sneakily. But there was a lot of ground activity, and I think it either was spotted or destroyed, or it just didn't get into position in time.
Right, this game could very easily have gone the other way if they hadn't spotted those bears and walruses that you'd sent in.
Oh man, that was so close because I was ordering my guys to hold fire, and the plan was to get into the vehicle bay and blow them up from the inside out.
Yeah, and I think we had a bit of target fixation. I think it was only one of our crew looked out the window and saw the headlights. And then I think, if I remember, there was a bit of a conversation like, well, what's that? That's a walrus. That's not ours. And
I think what did it was you had ground forces on one corner of the island.
oh yeah, they were shooting at stuff.
They
Yeah,
were shooting at the bear in the water, and it was only like 3 or 4 shots, but it was enough to draw the eye.
mm. But we had target fixation on you guys. If you'd got close enough to shoot, we probably wouldn't have realised until it was too late.
Well, let's... Yeah, so I'm going to show my clip, which I'm going to say is my favourite special operation of the last year, which for sheer entertainment value, is just brilliant.
I have a question. Will Benny Hill music be playing in this particular clip?
No, although it does need some fairly dramatic music. So, to set the scenario, this was the game where Deltars was playing on our team, so Bob, being the last to join, ended up on a different carrier. So he was commanding one of our opponents. We were Team 2, Bob was on Team 3 with Point Clarius and a few other guys. And they got into quite an aggressive shooting war with Team 4, and amidst this, taking quite a bit of damage with Team 4, they also decided to go and attempt a remote capture of an island. It was a 3-shield island, and the plan was to take out the ships with mantas and then try and get in with a petrol. However, in the event, the only aircraft available was a petrol, which is where we pick up our story.
Well, I can hold one of them at Thermopylae if we're going to Thermopylae. Assuming. Alright. Interrogative, what is 631 Petrol doing?
It was attempting a capture of Acheron.
Is the ship's clear?
No.
You can kind of hear the
Foreshadowing.
the question in his voice, like, really?
And Bob just says, no.
Can we get a radar speed?
And
Just a quick radar speed.
you can hear yeah, as you say, you can hear the voice, and then Point just says, well, I wish it well.
Get it down. Get the radar down. Yeah, don't worry about it. Yeah, don't worry about it.
So I'll skip forward.
So Bob, what's it like operating on a different carrier? What's the
60 mil
cockpit management like over there?
No, I'm spoiled with this crew. You guys are amazing.
I wasn't fishing for compliments, Bob.
So at this point, Bob has determined that the nearby needlefish is no threat, so he's going for the compound with the petrol. There are 2 swordfish on the far side of the island. He's even got a spotter in the gimbal camera.
Those 2 walruses are no factor. They're very much no factor right now.
Yeah, they're more of a no factor now.
There's already at least one enemy aircraft up. But it's going quite well, I think.
Turret.
Very smooth so far.
Yeah, looking good.
Work.
I don't. So.
The missiles start coming out.
Getting busy.
They have their fleet so scrambled I can't.
I don't know for certain, but I think it's a swordfish shot you down.
Yes.
Could probably try.
Yeah, I'm gonna try it.
So
That's a hell of a bounce.
Bob has a seal. He has no flare launcher. He has no activated camera. He has a seal with a virus spot, and that's it.
He's making Barnes Wallace proud though, look.
We dark.
He somehow survives this missile.
It was probably underwater when it exploded.
Lucky bounce. Yeah.
And he's like, I'm going to find a way in.
See, Thumble, this is how you're economical with your special ops.
I got nails over at Bedrock.
I think the word you're looking for is successful.
Likely recon aircraft.
Not mutually exclusive.
No either of you. We're getting one.
Can we
That
scramble one
is
cap?
a swordfish. No, those are 2 vehicles.
Bedrock, south of it currently.
Scramble one
Bob
crab.
tries to find a way up the cliff to the right.
Roger.
Got a visual on board.
My deck is busy, and that's our cat aircraft that it's going to be
Okay.
busy with.
I'm still trying to issue orders from the viewpoint of the seal to the crew.
Yes, at the same time as this is going on, Bob is in command of a carrier.
Multitasking.
Check.
Okay, so have you been able to find the enemy, Termy?
No. I
Alright,
have no signs.
head towards
That
Oh,
is
look,
my
a missile.
Burn.
Oh, sea skimmer.
I think they just.
Whoa.
Somehow he
I think
survived.
that's what they did.
This is the amazing stuff you come across when you watch somebody else's game footage. This is 10 minutes of pure gold. It's like, okay, no way through this way, so Bob turns round.
I'm like, that's a lot of headlights.
No tractor.
So instead there's a swordfish in front.
No ingress. You're scrambling.
Something exploded.
That sounded like
Fire for the moment, but actually,
a bear.
won't
Still
matter.
looking for way up the cliffs.
Launch
Yes,
grenade.
you're a
My
big
nitro boosters.
merry kind of drive around as
Hold
you're
fire
on the
on
way
AAs,
from the
see
command
what's up,
centre, I
but,
suppose.
I'd hold fire on the AAs just
It
for
must
the
have been
moment,
so
let them
frustrating
dive
that there
on
wasn't
the
a way up.
Watcher.
Oh, yes. It's like, come on.
He is going
It's
to.
usually these little ramps.
So you know how you get thunder and lightning in this game? Like lightning storms.
Yes.
Very, very frightening. Yeah.
You do hear occasionally the sound of distant thunder, and it's like, what is that?
Oh dear.
Bob is now being shelled.
That's from the.
That was probably a swordfish, yeah.
Yeah. I actually
Oh, you
counted,
hear
he gets
me
shelled
comment.
5 times.
You heard me comment there, this swordfish doesn't like me. Just very calm.
Hull integrity critical, 24%. Front seat
That's,
is off.
that's fine. Give me vectors to intercept, please.
Doing point things.
At this point, Bob's carrier is under attack.
Come on,
I think we've heard distant thunder again.
Music certainly does add to
fire
the
again,
tension
fire
as
again
well.
if you can.
Missile away.
Why is it when I choose clips, it involves somebody going all the way around an island under the cliffs?
That's fine, because it's got a very angry man.
That's where the entertainment value is.
You see, if it's Kazzik, he'd be at the top, jumping off.
Is that
Which
missile
is
still cracking?
normally what he does.
Being shelled again.
Do you launch the final? Oh, it is, it is!
And the helicopters haven't arrived yet.
Should be out of flares.
There's something going on in the horizon on the left.
Yeah, I see flares out there.
On that, pulling off.
Somebody's flaring.
Second contact coming in. Scratched her. Do not head west. Do not head west. Head north.
You know, I'd be willing to bet that you passed the ramp up already.
Splashed us out.
No, he didn't. He definitely
No,
didn't.
I've been looking.
There was okay, but there's a couple of coves where he didn't actually look because it was obscured by the thing jutting out.
Gotta keep my speed up.
Oh, I'm not disagreeing with you.
Very funny. Someone,
And you have to keep your distance from the cliffs because any of those swordfish shellings would kill you by, proximity.
Got her down. It's elevated.
It's the second day of the circumnavigation.
Yeah, it's already down. Can I, how about I start
Oh
tallying up my
look,
kills?
there's an aircraft, and it's not friendly.
854, I'm on her.
2 aircraft, and they're not friendly.
Wow,
On.
Oh.
I'm gonna take something different. I don't think I can intercept her in time. Give me Vector, please. If
Definitely
able.
Rosecraft.
Vector from 640 to target. If
Feels
able.
like one of those prison break movies. The patrol is looking
Or
for
Vector to home
me.
if you could.
They found you, they just can't hit you. Shadow
Seems
of
like
an aircraft on the
Oh
cliff.
yeah, saw that.
Alright, what's Vector to home?
Hey, look, no cliffs ahead.
Sweet trees.
The promised land.
Bob sees the way in.
Where's home?
Man, if they had shot me down just a little bit earlier, so I landed on the island.
Yeah, that would have made it a lot quicker.
Possible aircraft carrier position.
Something exploded.
Missile.
So there they actually hit you.
Ooh.
And I don't know if it was an IR turret or
from
one of the aircraft or what.
I think it was from a aircraft.
Any splash?
Those sounded like
Get shelled again.
Jeez.
Or maybe 160.
There's
It
a
might have been
helicopter
light bombs
really
from the
close.
helicopter.
Sorry, I'm asking GCI questions.
I think I got him. Yep. Enemy carrier located.
No, the petrol takes off.
Enemy carrier located.
Alright, never mind, we got a problem.
He's still going.
You're getting carrier music and you're still driving this stupid little seal.
Oh fuck, she's right there. Let's get a strike up, shall we, lads?
And there you are.
Seal destroyed.
So this was a hidden gem, Bob, that I really enjoyed finding in your footage, and I made a meme.
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
This is our new crew motivation program. So,
Memeing and shaming and memeing.
Meanwhile, in GRNO Special Ops, I remote captured a 2-shielder, no sweat. I captured the enemy airframe island. They never saw me coming. Not bad, not bad. For amateurs, hold my beer.
Frogs make it better.
Yeah.
Why is that not a cylindrical Bobcat driving? Why is it a frog?
It's the frog of war.
Okay.
Oh, that's terrible.
Because Bob is very fond of the frog of war.
Love it.
Oh, can we get Thumble banned?
It's now be known as Operation Tree Frog.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
I need to put it in the logbook actually. Right, that's me.
I'll go with my one.
So we've done Bred, we've done Kazzik, we've done Bob. So we've got it's me. So it's Roland. So it's Operation Kneecap.
Operation Kneecap. Right. Right. Let me start off with a bit of introduction into what's going on here. So this is Tricky's 42, not that long ago, but it's still firmly entrenched within 2024. And in fact, the history of what you're about to see goes back a little further than this. Within the Tricky's campaigns, I think Grim Reapers have killed enemy carriers with laser missiles, heavy bombs, flares, all sorts of things. But one thing that doesn't really get too much attention, and it's kind of a gentleman's agreement, is that you don't tend to kill each other's barges. And it wasn't until people started using barges for scouting that we worked out that you could actually relatively easily kill an enemy barge. And I think it was a patch to CC2 to increase splash damage or something. But what it meant was you could actually kill someone's barge, and which is great, and you would find that an immense inconvenience. But Bred and I were just mucking about in Carrier Command, and we thought, well, do you know what? Wouldn't it be interesting? Because you know exactly where the enemy barge is at the very start of each game. It's right next to their home island, and if you want to, you can go screaming over to their home island and kill their barge, and that effectively puts them out of the game because they haven't got enough equipment on board in order to procure another barge island. So we pick up the footage here with Kazzik is looking at the map and works out that this terrible plan that we've concocted is actually a go. So I'll press play and we can listen to this.
That is something we were just talking about beforehand too.
Airframe. Fuel would be a 3-shield. A little further, barges are 3-shield, and right after the airframes. Teams 2 is the closest by far. And that's Trench and Sage, so we should be very wary of them.
They've got a one shield air.
Hey, kneecap, because their barge island is.
This was after the Manta changes as well. So
this is we ran the tests with five pylon mantas. And so now we've got 3. But what you have on board for I think it's a full loadout you start off with. So you start off with rocket pods as well.
Albies, petrols.
It's only one manta, pup.
Mantas are far down the east, Vatland. I don't know their count, but they're on the edge, so they shouldn't be too high.
Didn't we say 1 rocket pod, 2 bombs?
Vatland is a 2 shield, I think.
Terminus has Mantas and Albies, so that's Team 2. We need to take out Team 2 quick, or at least kneecap them.
It's 2 rocket. There is an chance to plant some on the carrier just for. There is an extra aspect, which is the switch at the end, and Kazzik makes an important intervention here, basically changing us from 1 strike aircraft to 2 strike aircraft, which is, given the first clip that we saw this episode, bit of foreshadowing here, it actually turns out to be the right decision.
Well, no, that decision was made based on the fact that you need 5 heavy bombs to kill a barge. So you literally needed the 6 hard points from 2 mantas to be able to do it.
I thought it was that getting
both of you guys hit this, and the footage is absolutely amazing. But both of you guys hit your target.
Alpha 6 for kneecap.
It is one of those games where I mean we see a lot of when Delta Fleet kind of plan to catch us in a kind of strategic and a tactical move at the same time. This is one of the occasions where we've done the same the other way around. We're doing this preemptive, very fast barge mission, and also doing the cheese wheel thing.
The cheese wheel thing didn't actually work simply because of the positioning, and I don't know how much Thumble wants to reveal about that at this point in time. So,
if it's not featured in this footage, I won't mention it.
We need all petrols. That's for sure.
okay.
Upset.
Also, everybody take.
And the funny thing about this clip also is we don't know it yet, but Delta Fleet is trying to do the same thing to us.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. And this before we set out on this, we had a lot of soul searching, and this went through the ethics committee several times as to whether we should or should not do it. Just because we could, should we do it?
Right.
Well, I mean that's any attack that we come up with, because after we've used it and demonstrate that it's feasible, it can be used against us, which is something we have to consider. Like, how would we defend against such a tactic? And yeah, we did weigh that, but there was really never a gentleman's agreement to not attack another barge. It was just never done up to this point. We were definitely, there's an in-place rule that you were not supposed to scout with barges.
Yeah.
Somebody jump in the barge and be done.
But
generally, though, we have said that we wouldn't kind of do this against like really, really inexperienced teams.
yeah, I mean, we're not out to club seals. This is an experienced opponent. This is Delta Fleet, who are our equals at this point. And we need to use the tools in the toolbox to win against them.
So I'd just like to point out, when I dropped that bomb, I couldn't see them.
So you went slightly long, and the barge was just behind, or maybe it exploded on the back end of the carrier.
Yeah.
So you did get your weapons on target.
Try not to lose the aircraft.
Attack the carrier.
That too.
So that was the last bit. Was taking the carrier.
Here, I'll do it. I'm gonna be dodging in the barge.
I'm in your camera.
He's splashed next to our barge. I dodged.
I'm desperately trying to look for the carrier to tag it.
Yeah, and managed to get the tag on it. So yeah, that was I thought that was a really interesting one on us, because it was something that, as Kazzik said, we knew it was possible. Brett and I had done some tests and some training on it, and so we knew we could do it. We knew how long it would take us, but it's just absolute coincidence that we were doing exactly the same thing the Delta Fleet were doing, and then seconds after we killed their barge, their attack arrived. But I think they didn't put a lot of effort into it. They kind of just rolled the dice with it rather than really committing to it. And so we managed to defend. They did hit the barge, yeah. I think Pup managed to get in the barge and
one
start
of their
spinning it.
2 attacks hit and got it to about half. I want to say that they had a non-Delta Fleet member piloting the first attack that missed. So it is entirely possible that the lack of skill from one of their random players that was on their team that day made the difference. But we did have awareness with Pup Boy in their dodging, and that might have been all the difference in the world. Of course,
I think
that really set us up for success.
If they'd been in their barge and just driving around in circles, then
their barge was stationary, feeding their carrier. So, I mean, typically you want to let that happen whenever you're getting stuff delivered.
Yeah, absolutely.
You didn't include the bonus section at the end here.
No, that's on the YouTube video. I didn't know whether or not we wanted to put that in.
Sure.
Well, I can certainly put it in here, but that was some fairly impressive footage of an attack of opportunity on an island capture that was in progress, which would have further frustrated them.
Yeah, and I thought that attack was fantastic. I mean, that shows how good we have got with like multi-crew aircraft. Because Bob, you were spotting these things out and calling them out to Brett, and Brett was just laying down rockets on the targets that he could barely see, and you were just calling out vectors to shoot at. And I thought that was brilliant, and managed to kill their virus bots and stop their capture.
Okay, I think I'm up next.
Go for it, Bob. So introduce your clip.
Okay. I think this was T-47. If I remember correctly, we had evaded detection for a while, and this is one of our first strikes in the match against Delta Fleet, and it doesn't go as planned. Of course, we have to kind of salvage what damage we can get out of it. Strategically, it doesn't really impact, and we have to throw quite a few more strikes later. But there's some pretty fun dodging going on here, so I'll just let it roll. Okay.
Pup, speed up. You guys, other guys, slow down.
Okay.
I think you're probably
Left turn.
You're in an Albatross here, right?
Yes. Most of the strike is an Albatross.
I see them launching
I hope I got the right clip.
So something that we're getting a lot better at, I say I wasn't involved in this, I was away for this game, but we're getting a lot better at attacking simultaneously with multiple aircraft and coordinating.
I'm getting about them there. Diamonds, is that
Diamond.
Wild Weasel, break force, turn north.
So I think you had a Manta overhead.
Alright, we're gonna have to... Oof.
Past tense. You had a Manta overhead, the enemy carrier.
I do the diving barrel roll.
Trailing aircraft.
Well, now it's just a bunch of chaff falling through the sky.
Yeah, I think that was me. I was supposed to be providing flare cover for you.
Okay, climbing.
Valiantly doing it with your own person.
I was going to say you became a flare.
I blocked missile.
Slow up for the trainer. Who's in the trailer?
Singular.
You can see the carrier there running away.
I think I see a shield bug.
Yeah.
I am 9K.
Alright, get ready to dodge. Do a combat spread.
Oh, is that a shield bug?
That's the shield bug.
Missile.
Missile.
Times 2.
2.
And it shoots down Bred immediately.
Another one, Bob. One more.
There's 2 dodges, really. 3.
Another one, Bob.
Oh my word,
4.
how many?
Good work, Bob. Good work, Bob.
It ends up being 6. He gets 1 from the right and 1 from the carrier. It's simultaneously in this one.
Dodge.
'Cause I added this in a
Yeah,
small
so-
video on the channel, so because I'm behind him and I dodged the next 4.
Crikey.
Too close to the missiles.
Missiles.
How-
Missiles hit.
How did that not take out Sea-Wiz? Because that didn't damage the Sea-Wiz.
130. Go low. Missile, Kazzik.
I'm like, how am I not dead?
It just goes to show what you can do with an Albatross and a lot of determination.
220.
And no flare cover.
Grim Reaper determination?
Well, I mean, honestly,
Missile.
Missile.
Times 2.
And even though this is showing their their home island, this was actually quite a way into the game, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was about 2 hours.
Because I remember this. Shortly after this, they offered us a truce, and the reason they offered us a truce was because they'd run out of fuel.
Oh, this
Yeah.
was no,
Yeah.
this was like 2 hours.
Different-
That was 2 hours.
That was a
later.
different team, though.
Oh, right.
Was that when
So-
we ran out of fuel? Almost ran out of fuel as well.
No, that was
No.
a long time ago. So I do remember debriefing after the post game.
Hits on-
They were
hits on
saying though,
carrier.
why do you guys use Albatross? Albatross suck. It's like, okay, we dodged 10 missiles out of 11 fired at us,
They're way cheaper.
and quicker to make and everything else. So
the
yeah.
mountain got shot down really quickly. So let's see how that's
Well,
going.
but you had already made your attack, I believe, at that point.
I think I had found them was the main thing.
Either that or you were in a cap aircraft. I can't remember which, but you had already you were Winchester at that point. You literally were there for flares and to distract them as well. But yeah, in my footage of that, I'm behind him, so I get to see the whole thing. That's why it's already a video up on our channel. So go watch it.
So,
Got it.
Thumble, how many of these videos have made it onto the Grim Reaper's YouTube channel as shorts or full videos?
A few of these made it up as shorts. The trouble is, I haven't been able to make many films this last year because I have an excuse baby who is now fast approaching 1 year old.
Is he asleep?
He's finally asleep, yeah. But said excuse baby is the reason for the drop in my output. I don't see anybody else here with an excuse baby, is all I'm saying.
Hey, I just put up the barge racing clip. That took me ages to put that together.
Yeah,
It was actually
I
quite a long video.
I want to get a new machine built, and I need to get that rolling. I do have a small bonus clip.
Ooh, go on.
Involves some air-to-air, which at the beginning, older events, we didn't have a lot of air-to-air action, and with some of the mods tweaking things here and there, I feel like we've gotten a lot more satisfying air-to-air and meaningful air-to-air action in our game. So here's one example of it. Now,
This is an Albatross.
So these are-
to
this is an Albatross AWACS defending against a strike.
270 from the carrier.
Strike mantas, no less. So I see the further target. I'm like, maybe he's uncommanded.
Shield bug pushed him up.
I'll take that shot instead.
Or put a missile on it or something.
That's just a really satisfying shot. Even I think he was commanded though. even through the flares.
Yeah, you see him dodge, you see him pop flares, and you still got him.
I don't know the result of this one. Probably a miss.
Interesting.
No.
You are.
Oh, it's
Ooh.
a splash also. Nice.
And you were gaining on him there, so he must have been manoeuvring and lost all his speed and energy.
Yeah, I think he was still looking for us, or I'm not sure exactly. But as you can see, our carrier is very low health at this point. So splashing those two planes definitely saved. I think we end up losing this match, but it did prolong our life for a bit.
I think this was T-46, wasn't it? The one before?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
I recognise it.
So, anyway, that's that.
Excellent. Okay, so on to our last clip, which is, I think, Pop, you've chosen a bit from Operation Lasercats.
Operation Lasercats. Yep. We get the YouTube video.
Okay, this was quite a fun little video to edit because it was quite short, and even with an excuse baby I could just about edit it. The most fun, I realise Pup's telling this story, but the fun I had was matching what happens on it to the music, trying to get the rise and fall of the music and match it to the actual events in the video, apart from the attack, of course, which is in real time.
So maybe I should give a bit of background.
And barge right next door.
This is also a premeditated strike. I think the plans for this had been in the works for quite a while.
At least a year, yeah.
It was in a full loadout game, and we ended up spawning quite close to Team 4, so we wanted to take them out quickly. And using... we had a lot of Albatrosses at the start, only a few Mantas, so we wanted to use Albatrosses. So we went for Laser Cats, which also let us delegate fewer crew members to the attack than if they're all piloted separately. So we were also able to make a diversion with the Mantas at the same time. And it ended up coming together quite nicely.
Just did nothing on it. Albie's up.
Yeah, the enemy scouts us earlier than expected here, while we're still launching strike planes, so we have to deal with that at the same time.
So they see our aircraft going out, but there's no curiosity what they're doing.
On granite, and then we'll kind of just...
I think they were target focused. They saw the carrier.
Hey Bob, would you like me to take command of the strike?
Yeah, it really was launching all these Albies early that let most of them go away unnoticed.
We need a target, guys.
Yep. I see a ship 253 from my position.
Nice bit of scouting by Bob.
I believe I have a target north of me.
Yeah, the good recon enabled the whole thing.
It's gonna go near our carrier.
Launch.
I see
Missile, 003.
I love
Tagging.
the up in the music there as the missile comes off the carrier.
Okay, Bob, you've got ordnance.
Very pleased with that.
The whole video, yeah, it's really good.
They're bombing us. No rockets.
Siwa's on the rear is destroyed.
Okay, I'm going to set up for an attack run.
I was trying desperately to aim for the front Siwas and just overcommit.
Pup, if you can get in the Manta, get on the back end of the formation.
It's difficult to do with only one rocket launcher. If you have a full set of 4 on an Albatross, you can just rake the deck once and there's nothing left.
Yeah.
So this is the bit where we switch over to Pup's viewpoint.
Yeah, I want to stop it here because you might have heard in the video, I wasn't very confident with my flare cover at this point. I know it seems like an easy job, I just have to press one button, but the whole strike had formed up very neatly, and I didn't want to mess up. Yeah, some of the best flying that we see in the in some of the clips is when we're all flying together. And this feels very similar.
I love the very sort of B-17 Flying Fortress aspect to it. It's like it's a very straight bombing run.
There's even a torpedo.
Oh, I do like a good torpedo.
Yeah, carry on what you're doing.
Really poorly timed lag spike forced me to overshoot.
Don't worry, keep him busy.
Yep,
So I'm flying this Manta, but I'm also sweating profusely because I know that if I miss the flares, the whole thing could fall apart. They're all following that front Albi.
Kazzik got an extra gun bill in the air for you. Actually,
You've got guns selected here, pup.
Okay, Bob, I need you.
Yeah, I'm
He's
also
on the
watching
flare.
enemy air.
I was hovering over flare. Yeah.
Visual contact.
understood.
That is
He's going for the ship. I'm
flare
firing.
manta.
Firing main.
I think they're looking for our virus seal.
Once I get into position, it's very smooth.
Believe carrier is at 296, directly down velocity vector.
Understood.
Missed.
While this is going on, we're fighting over an island.
Those missiles off us. Here we go.
Yeah, the
Available if you need.
I think it was airframes.
there's a couple Mantas on the other side of their carrier.
Target.
I think the distraction is also another big part of this.
9,000 meters and closing.
I'm in the spare camera.
Check missiles armed.
Track.
That was me making sure that the missiles were armed, because I've done this before and not had the missiles selected. Target is stationary.
And I'm updating the track.
6,000 meters.
Confirmed. We'll need a follow-up. I don't think this will kill them, but it will hurt them.
This should kill them. There's 5 Albatrosses. They're partially damaged.
5,000 meters.
Their deck is found. They're recovering something.
Stand by until you're overhead. Stand by.
Going to fire at 15.
Torpedo is away.
Target is Oscar Mike. Target is Oscar Mike. So that changes my calculations. The carrier's moving.
Forward seaweeds is still online. Aft.
Has dropped.
There you go.
Everything's
That's what you have to
fine.
do.
Yeah, good flare drop. Whoa.
Off the missiles go. I really want to turn my head down and look.
Missile, missile, missile.
But I think we should cut back to the YouTube video and see how it all turns out. Flying through the trails there is really nice as well.
That's very cool.
It does look really impressive, doesn't it, when all those missiles go off the rails?
We'll see Thumble's view in the video.
Okay, Pop, you want to be nice and close to the formation. So this bit of the YouTube video is actually in real time, more or less at this point. Normal speed 120. Okay, Bob, I need you to keep laying the track and put me over the carrier. I will give a little bearing to it as soon as I... So this is an example of something that we do very well as a team, actually, which is that because we're quite a flat hierarchy, right on the nose obviously now. Bob's the captain, but at any time, the person who's in the best place to call the shots can jump into the command seat, if you like, and start directing other people. Keep those missiles off us. Which, for about 120 seconds, is me.
Thumble, are you the laser?
Really formation.
Target is stationary. They've just launched a Razor Bell 9. Which happens with the B-17. The bomb aimer flies the aircraft for bombing it. Check missiles armed.
Track is directly over the target.
Okay, here we go.
I've got 3 sets of flares.
Target is stationary.
6,000 meters.
Confirmed. We'll need a follow-up. I don't think this will kill them, but it will hurt them.
This should kill them. There's 5 Albatrosses. They're partially damaged.
Delay even more there.
Oh, there's a huge.
They see him coming in.
From our southeast.
I mean, when you see that on the radar, you're like, oh, crap.
Well, I don't know if I left it in the video, but they actually say we're done. Just after I cut their feet.
Missile.
Flaring.
Forward seaweeds is still online.
It's a really good flare cover there.
Inconclusive.
You've got to lead the target by just the right amount.
Lasers away.
Bring another set of flares.
That's good. Missile, missile, missile.
Love that shot on the hollow table.
Did it.
Nicely done.
Hey, laser cats.
Laser cats.
Great to watch every time.
I actually cut to their feed as well with their view of their own carrier blowing up. Missiles away.
Very cool.
It was really kind of perfectly aimed because, like, the first missile, I think, hit the front of the carrier, and the last missile hit the back, and everything in between was just a straight line as they drove through the point that you were aiming at.
It's one of those things that if somebody's not seen this attack, then it catches them completely unawares. If you know exactly what's going on, there are things you can do about it. But
A well-placed TV missile.
yeah,
that never happened.
That lead aircraft is quite important. 5,000 meters.
Yep.
Yeah, if one of the enemy mantis turned up with some AA missiles.
Stand by until you're
Or just a gun.
AA missiles would have been fine. You had flares.
I have heard Sage say he was very concerned. He spotted a close formation and thought it was laser cats, but it was something else. It's just us flying information. I think I've caught that a few times. So the specter of laser cats is out there.
And I think Thumble, you shared a very good GIF with our colleagues about a cat and a laser pointer on Discord as well, which I thought went down very well.
Oh, there were a few memes, yeah, which
yeah.
It was a video. It was an image of us training for it, I think.
Yeah. When I say it went down very well, it went down very well with us, but I don't think they found it that amusing.
Well, of course, that was a relatively new team. I think their captain was somebody who'd done a bit of training with Delta Fleet, but not much.
Is that the future Team 4?
I don't think so. I don't think it wasn't Turbo.
Oh, there's a huge.
It's quite a shock. And you watch their video as well. They go and join Trench, which we were happy for them to do because Trench was playing on his own up until that point. And Trench said, "What happened?" And he said basically, "Oh, they came at us with rockets." Because they hadn't identified what it was, and of course we didn't. And Trench was a bit confused because, of course, you don't start with enough rockets to sink a carrier.
I mean, it's fair that the cadence of that attack seems very rocket-like.
Yeah, if you've not seen that before, it's just a hammer blow. It really is.
It did look very, especially with the music as well. It reminded me very much of Starship Troopers, that sequence.
Well, that's because it's the Clendathu drop theme from Starship Troopers.
Well, that'll be it then.
Which fits the attack absolutely perfectly.
And demonetized.
Yeah, that
yeah, exactly.
Maybe I'll put Benny Hill over it for the for this one. So yeah, that's our 6 clips. So do you guys have any other thoughts, reflections on the last year? Any other highlights that wouldn't qualify as a video?
Joining up with the Grim Reapers. That's pretty awesome.
Hey, finding a non-original member of the Grim Reapers, that was pretty original too.
Just the continued community building, I think is pretty great. It's a small community, but it's a very dedicated community, and just having friendly rivals, skilled opponents. It just makes it, all worth it, really.
Yeah, agreed. It's been a better... The year before this one, we had a couple of really difficult games against Vanny Slayer, but they disappeared, and we weren't really contested until the end of that year. So we enjoyed playing together, but it's been a lot more fun now we've had stiffer competition, I think.
Yes, absolutely.
I think one highlight from me is actually, if you remember back in early 2024, there were loads of people posting, is this game now shelfware? And to get the engagement that we got and the recognition when the first update for 2024 dropped, I think that was really satisfying. The fact that we wouldn't give up on the game, and bringing the community with us to not give up. The devs actually, it opened their eyes that there was more to this game than they'd previously thought. So that for me was really impressive.
I agree, and the fact that the devs were willing to listen to us and a few others in the community directly to take some suggestions and run with them and make some changes to the game that we think have improved things quite a bit.
Not many devs are willing to do that, so it's very amazing to see. Kind of humbling, and really good.
Yeah, and they're guys that play their own game too. We've seen them in some Trickies events and things.
So should we ask Bred, what was your mod of the year? Because I think, and the unsung hero of a lot of these Trickies games is Bred, and all of the different mods that he puts out for balance and playability in the Trickies events. Plenty of them out. So Bred, what do you think was your best mod? Was it Revolution?
Well, I don't know really. I mean,
what part of Revolution?
Yeah, I've actually really enjoyed messing around with the tactical operations thing, the little room downstairs with extra bits and bobs in and extra screens and stuff. I've quite enjoyed that. But I think mod that's not talked about very much, but probably makes the most difference to the gameplay. It's probably a toss-up between Bob's missile mod and the turbo barges thing, actually. So, like with those two, they the missile mod really changes how you do air combat for the better. And the turbo barge thing means that you stand a chance of having an under 3-hour game most of the time, just because the barges move your cargo around so much faster.
I think that the Fog of War has been the Fog of War update has been something we take for granted now, that you can't see which other islands are being taken is interesting. But I think that the thing that I think is the biggest difference is the addition of RWR to the aircraft. That adds a massive tactical aspect to the game that wasn't in there originally. Just having a hint that there are radars out there. Because a big part of how I like to play is in terms of, well, how much does the enemy know, and denying the enemy information. And that means that you've got the double-edged sword of radar, that you have a radar that can find things, but it's also radar emissions giving your position away. And that aspect of the gameplay I really like.
Yeah, and it's a touch of reality that inspires a lot of these kind of mods. So that I definitely appreciate those.
I've really enjoyed doing the kind of incremental, the revolutionary kind of balancing of things. As we do something, we try something out, and then we decide everyone suddenly gets used to that, and they take advantage of it, and then we realise actually the mantas are too powerful. We need to limit them in some way, or barges being scouted everywhere. We need to kind of prevent that in the games to make stuff a bit fairer. And I've enjoyed that we've been able to do that kind of leapfrogging. We introduce a thing, we all try it out, and then we realise actually there should be a counter to this, but there isn't. So we try and balance it. And working with Geometa as well, with helping the feedback from the things like the missile speeds and the costs and the values of weights and stuff.
Well, I do think one of the most significant mods that has ever come out of the team is the Albatross mod, because there was a time in the standard game the Albatross becomes an irrelevant airframe. Because as soon as you slap an AWACS on a Manta and you're going to go screaming around the map, then it's basically, what do I need an Albatross for? But the balance in the Albatross being the only platform for the AWACS, and also, as you say, working with Geometa on like the costs and times for creating them, a Manta is now significantly more expensive. So I think that saved the Albatross in the game. I really like that mod. Or collection of mods.
Yeah, it made a big difference. Everybody, I remember certain people in the community being quite shocked when we suggested dialing back the number of hardpoints on a Manta, and yet, and they've been brought round, I think, if memory serves, because it's just made the gameplay that much better. And of course, the Albi now has its place as a radar aircraft, and it's a missile truck in a way that the Manta isn't anymore.
Yeah, these changes combined, in my opinion, allow space for meaningful air-to-air combat, which it's always exciting in this kind of game, and it should definitely have a place. And these changes, give it space.
I didn't expect the Manta stuff to result in more air combat. It seems counterintuitive to take some of its weapons away. It's turned out that Mantas are, you tend to stay in them longer. You tend to actually want to do the dogfight, and you use it for what it's best at. You don't just slap some bombs on it and dispose of it. Partly because it's more expensive, but some people still do. But I've definitely seen, it's gone from people just sticking 4 or 5 missiles on the thing to thinking about what they're going to use it for, because they know that the 2 missiles and maybe a torpedo are going to have some utility, but then they've got a dogfighter left, so they're either going to do recon with it or do a bit of close air combat. They don't just throw it away. It's got more uses than it used to.
My last question is, what are we all looking forward to in 2025 for the game, for the community, for the competitions? What I'm looking forward to is a second lift. Now, I don't know if this will ever happen, but in the original game on the Spectrum, you could actually get upgrades to your carrier, and one of the upgrades was a second hangar lift, and it was so useful. I think it's a long way off with the complexity of the models and everything that we got, but that's what I'm hoping for 2025.
It's Roland's wish list. Maybe Carrier Command 3.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to more special ops.
More cheese wheels. I think realistically, I'm hoping for air-to-air refueling in some fashion for a fixed-wing aircraft, and maybe landing on airfields on islands. I think that would be really nice if that happened.
Well, we did have air-to-air refueling by accident, and which was immense fun. And even though I can't do it, you guys have got the skill to do a land away with rotorcraft, haven't you?
Well, there's a button for that now. I think thanks to Bred's new UI tweaks.
Roger that. Oh, the hold. Sure, cool.
The land here button.
Yeah, land here.
A land here button. Ah, excellent.
I don't
use it at your own risk.
Yeah, it doesn't know about trees.
The green missiles.
Ask them about trees.
I'm glad that particular clip escaped everybody's notice for this. But,
the evil editor is looking forward to season 3.
Season 3 of our PvE is going to be.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yes, for sure. I'm just looking forward to sailing with you guys more. You're a great crew.
Yeah, doing stuff together, forming up on each other, doing some kind of combined mission. It's really good.
The great thing about this crew is that because we stay together, we can develop some of these crazy tactics like laser cats, and they're like arrows in our quiver that we can pull out when the time is right. I know I've got several special op plans that I haven't been able to execute yet, and we should definitely continue to come up with those and have them ready.
We need to be very careful that that 56-page PDF does not fall into enemy hands. So never take it in the air with your thumble.
No one will read it. Okay, well, thanks for joining us, viewers, and hopefully here's to some more video content in our channel in 2025. So, a happy new year, and see you out there.
On the
Happy New Year. See you later.
Same Walrus time, same Walrus channel.